This is Yvonne Sims. In this episode of Strong and Courageous, I'll be featuring Tanisha Walker, who is aware. Now hear from Tanisha how this unique gift has helped advance and enhance her life.
My name is Tanisha Walker, and I am aware. I am aware of my strengths, my weaknesses. I know my enemy very well. I know who my friends are, my family, the things that make us strong, the things that we need prayer about. I'm aware of my environment, my purpose, my passion, how far I'm willing to go to get what I want, how to push others. I am simply aware. Growing up, there were several challenges that children should never have to experience, like watching your mother overdose or knowing where the local drug houses were, being a part of a family where alcoholism was the norm, parties, being in and out of different houses. I had to be on edge to know, okay, what's going on in my life now, even as a kid. Am I going to be with my mom this weekend? Am I going to be with my grandmother? Will we be traveling? North Carolina, Washington, D.C.? I was always somewhere where I had to be aware. So it wasn't a gift that I, appreciated as a child. I just knew I had to know what was going on in life. So just growing up and having my mom pass early when she was 36, and knowing I always wanted to be important in life. That's the goal when we're young, right? We want friends. We want people to know who we are. So when I was young, that was the goal. And using the gift of awareness seemed to make me popular. I would know, where the hot spots were before I showed up. So when the question came up, I would already know. I would know what was in style, so I could go in someone's closet who felt like they needed to go shopping and, help pull together a $5 outfit and make them feel like they were wonderful. Just being aware, picking up a magazine. I would see what lipsticks were, in stock when I was working at Sephora. So when the doors opened and clients were coming in to look for it, I'd be able to say, oh, I already know. Build rapport with clients so they'd come back. So being aware just helped me become who I was. And I didn't know, even as a little girl, that, it was who I was destined to be. It's not a huge adjective or a huge thing when people think, what do I want to be when I grow up? But it is so important to be aware. And I thank God for it. I mentioned my mom abusing drugs affected me because I had to see it. And it's not something I think any child should see, but, being able to save her life from a drug overdose by just knocking on the door to say, Mom, are you okay? And being 11, it taught me, hey, you can be strong at 11. And then having my first suicide attempt at 16 because I felt life was not for me. And then surviving it to know, hey, you can be strong even at 16. It's just tapping into the me I'm growing to be instead of the me who I am, because I'm never fully who I want to be. I'm never as strong as I can be, but knowing that I'm growing to who she is, I'm growing to who she is. I'm going there. I'm moving. My feet are moving. My mind is thinking. I know who I am when I get there. I'm still learning who I am now. And it might be my last breath to fully take in who God meant for me to be while I'm here. But I'm never going to give up on finding her. And you shouldn't either. People should never give up on who they're growing to be. We get so frustrated with the mundane of, clocking in and clocking out, to bosses who hate us and people who can't stand us and kids who don't listen, that we forget that our being, our existence is so important to those who love us, and the we that we need to love, the us, the me, the I. We forget about us, and no adversity can change who you're growing to be as long as you keep trying. I decided that after 11 suicide attempts, maybe God just wants me here, and that I should stop trying to steal my life from him. This isn't my life. I wasn't put here for me. I was only put here for him, and every gift that he has given me, I will use to the full capacity. So I use my gift as a photographer and as a makeup artist to help people be aware about who they are and who God called them to be. I don't just have to hold the camera and a makeup brush to say, look over here, smile here. I want to dig deep. So that's what I do. I use those things that make me cry, those things that hurt me, those things that made me grow, that stretched me a little bit. I use those things to dig deep into others so that they can see that they are growing to be the best them that they can be. Walter Wintle said, and then he wrote in this beautiful poem, he said that life's battles don't go to the stronger or the faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks that he can. So I think that everyone who knows that they're growing to be stronger and they're growing to be courageous can be with every fiber of their being, as long as they think they can. We have social media, we have television, we have movies and networks that tell us we're not beautiful, we're not enough, we'll never be good enough. But as long as we think that we are and that we can, then we will be. Some people look at my now and think this is how it's always been. They say, oh my goodness, everyone knows in God's image. Everyone's heard of your business. You've worked with everyone. You know everyone. You've got 11,000 supporters. And I'm going, that's not enough. This is not how it's always been. I have nights where I don't sleep. And my husband will say, girl, get off the computer. Put down the phone. No more emails. I want to tell someone that your now is not where you're growing. It's not. You will have some nights that you cry. Get over it. Man up. Yes, I said it. Don't be afraid or fearful of a couple of sleepless nights. You will have to pray. I'll tell you that. You've got to pray, and you need an accountability partner. You need someone who can say, listen, I know where you want to go. I know what you want. This is not the way you're going to do it. This is the way you will do it. Let's pray. You need someone that bold to step up to you and say that. You're going to need to put aside the fears, the what ifs, the I can't, the nobody supports me, because as long as you support yourself, you don't need anyone else. And my grandmother taught me that. She said, grass is green on every side as long as you water it. And that's the truth, because some people have brown grass in their yards and they're filling it with hate. They're filling it with disgust of They always have a complaint, but never a solution. You know, they talk about the black church. They talk about gays and homosexuality. They'll talk about everything wrong in the world and wonder why their dream will never, and I said it, will never take off. Why they will be stagnant and stuck in unhappiness and just evil. I don't understand people like that. I never want to. I never want to stoop so low to understand why someone would choose, because it is a decision, to stay angry and bitter and still. Stagnant water stinks. Nothing about stagnant water is beautiful.
But as long as you get a little movement, create a few ripples, you get a few butterflies, you start to see that life can be beautiful. But it can't be if people are angry and bitter. They'll end up 89, 93, having done nothing, gone nowhere, eating spaghetti and peanut butter sandwiches their whole life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if they want more and limit themselves to that, that's their fault. Their fault. I can eat sushi if I want it. It's nasty, but if I wanted it, I could go get it because I work hard for it. And I know that I can. I believe that I can. And I'm never going to think that I'll go back to only peanut butter and jelly. Unless I got a taste for it. Unless I got a taste for it. And I feel strongly about that because some of your very best friends won't support you. They'll never like a picture, share a picture, comment. They'll never post, like your page, like your picture, tell someone about you. Sometimes the strangers you meet at Food Lion picking up eggs will tell somebody about you within 15 minutes, will broadcast your business. So don't look at your support system and base it on your success. As long as you've got God and you're not afraid to pray, the success will come. The pieces will fall into place and you'll get there. I can promise you that. Just never give up on being true to you and be you loudly. Loudly, loudly, loudly. Thank you for listening to this episode of Strong and Courageous. I'm your host, Yvonne Sims. To hear more stories of strength and courage, visit my website at YvonneSims.com or my Facebook page at Yvonne Sims. Until next time, beloved, be strong and courageous.